Okay, let's just get right into it because we need to talk about a pretty painful truth in the startup world. There's this one fundamental reason so many first-time founders fail. And you know what? It's almost never the reason they think it is.
Yeah, read that again. This statement just cuts right against the grain of everything we're told to focus on, right? We're taught to obsess over the features, the design, the code. But what if all of that energy is aimed at the completely wrong problem? Because this is what happens. This is the quiet, kind of heartbreaking reality for so many people. You pour your heart and soul into building something amazing, you finally hit that launch button, and then crickets, just silence. No users, no buzz, just this crushing feeling that maybe the world just doesn't care. So, what happens then when that big launch just completely falls flat? A founder's mind starts racing, trying to find a reason why. And, it almost always looks for that reason in all the wrong places.
Do any of these sound familiar? They probably do. These are the classic product-focused excuses we tell ourselves. Oh, if I just tweaked the interface one more time, or if I just optimized the database, or if I added that one last feature, then the users would come. We trick ourselves into believing we just haven't perfected the product yet.
But here's the really hard truth. At this stage, none of that matters. Not really. I mean, you could have the most elegant, lightning-fast product in the entire world, but it makes zero difference if you're the only person who even knows it exists.
And while we're busy obsessing over these tiny product details, we get distracted by all the noise out there. I mean, everyone's shouting about their new features, their AI integration, or they're posting these vanity screenshots of a dashboard with like 3 users and calling it traction. It just pulls our focus away from the real work that needs to be done.
So let's just cut through all that noise and get right to the core of this thing. We are not facing a product problem. We're facing something way more fundamental. It's a blind spot that affects almost every single new founder out there.
This right here is the critical misdiagnosis. We think the problem is the product, right? Something we can fix with more code or better design. But the actual problem, the real one, is something we're not even looking at. Our complete failure to plan for and execute on distribution.
Let's actually put a name to it: distribution blindness. It's this deep-seated inability to see that building the thing is maybe, 10% of the battle. The other 90%, the real challenge, is figuring out how to get that thing into the hands of actual, real people. And not just a few friends, but thousands or even millions. Now, this blindness, it leads to a series of delusions. And the first one we love to tell ourselves is, oh, we're just early. The market just isn't ready for our genius yet. It's a comforting thought, for sure, but it's rarely true. And what's the next illusion? That our product is just misunderstood. We think, man, if people could just get the vision, they'd sign up in droves. We blame the customer's lack of understanding instead of our own lack of reach. So here it is. This is the crucial point. Your product isn't early, and it isn't misunderstood. It's just unseen. And in the startup world, unseen is exactly the same as dead. Just let that sink in for a second. But, and this is important, here is the good news. The moment you accept this really uncomfortable truth, the moment you realize your product is simply unseen, is the moment everything can change. This is your invitation to finally start playing the real game.
This then becomes the only question that matters. Seriously, if being unseen is the same as being dead, then the number one job of a founder is to figure out how to get seen. How do you solve for visibility?
The answer starts with a really radical shift in your thinking. See, most founders treat distribution, marketing, sales, growth, as the last step. It's something you kind of bolt on after the perfect product is built. And that is fundamentally completely wrong. Distribution is the process. From day one, from the very first line of code you write, every single decision you make should be seen through this lens. How will this help us get our product into the hands of more people? It's not a department, it's the core operating system of the entire company.
And look, this really illustrates the two very different paths you can take. You can ignore distribution, and yep, you'll end up with a beautifully crafted product that nobody ever uses. Or you can obsess over it, you can master it, and you will completely change the entire trajectory of your startup. The choice is really that stark. So if these ideas have kind of hit you hard, good.
Honestly, that feeling of discomfort means you're waking up from that product-only delusion. It means you are finally starting to see the board for what it really is, and you're getting ready to play the actual game.
So what does this real game look like? Well, it's not about perfecting your code in a vacuum. It's about getting out into the world. It's about testing your ideas with real ad spend, poring over analytics to see what people actually do, not what you hope they'll do. It's all about embracing this messy, data-driven process of finding a repeatable way to get your product in front of the right people and learning from your mistakes every single time you get it wrong.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Look at your daily activities, your team's top priorities, your metrics. Is what you're doing based on hope and just pure assumption? Or are you engaged in the measurable, intentional process of distribution? Are you just guessing? Or are you actually growing?